Today is 420, a significant day for those who enjoy cannabis, a holiday that originated right here in the Bay Area. And right now, people are celebrating at Golden Gate Park. It's also a day when producers and advocates celebrate the cannabis industry. Joining me now is Dale Sky Jones, the Executive Chancellor of Oaksterdam University, which focuses on cannabis education. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Happy 420.
Happy 420. You and your husband have been involved in so many big decisions that impacted the cannabis industry. Can you quickly tell us why you started the university and what people can learn at Oaksterdam?
Yes, and in over 25 years now of advocacy, we founded the school because we knew education was the path to end prohibition. And we started educating patients, we ended educating governments, and we still do. We fought for the very social equity, the folks that were first hit hardest by the drug war, and to ensure that they are first in line to receive technical assistance services. And so now we offer everything from business programs for folks trying to enter the industry, all the way through our world famous horticulture extractions and manufacturing programs, as well as frontline workers like bud tending and workforce development. So we're over 80,000 alumni strong from 110 countries now.
Wow. And I'm sure you've seen an increase of people wanting to learn more about this multi-billion-dollar industry. In fact, according to the San Francisco Office of Cannabis Director, this year OOC permitted 5 new equity businesses. Last several years, OOC distributed $7 million in grants, provided permits to 41 social equity businesses to date. This is in San Francisco. Do you think overall cannabis is becoming more socially accepted?
We've definitely removed a lot of the stigma. When Oaksterdam first started with a voter initiative back in 2010, we were back then laughed at, but it became the story. What are they talking about? And what we were talking about was ending wasting resources and reinvesting into our communities, into workforce, that cannabis was safer than alcohol. And let's just change the way we look at it. You're not a bad person for consuming cannabis. It really is the laws that we had a problem with, and other law-abiding citizens enjoy cannabis as well. And so just changing the stigma, changing the conversation, really, that the most dangerous thing was not cannabis, it was getting caught with it. And
Dale, also, speaking of that, I want to ask you, because we still have people in prison for cannabis-related crimes that date way back, and you're actually working on helping with their pardons.
It's so important to remember, especially on a day of celebration, and, let this be your hit of hope. You didn't get caught. You're on the right side of prohibition if you're out on Hippie Hill. And there's a lot of folks that people don't realize are still in there. And so whether you're supporting the Weldon Project or clemency for prisoners, there is currently several different things going on right now, in addition, called Pardons to Progress, to call on governors to make sure that we're releasing. We've done a lot of work here in California, but if you have that cousin or grandma out in Arkansas or some other neck of the woods, but it's important to remember we're still breaking up families here in California over cannabis because we haven't protected parents. We haven't changed all the laws. So we're not there yet, and it's still important to show up and vote and jury duty and ask for these changes at your city council and with your sheriff.
And California is at the forefront of legalizing cannabis. It is still heavily taxed here. Is this harming the growth of the industry? What do you think?
Without question. This is a nascent industry, and it's not just the overtaxation of cannabis as some sort of sin tax, but it's also the issue of how cannabis businesses are taxed. We still have what's called the 280E rule federally. The cannabis industry is not allowed to really claim anything other than the cost of goods sold. I don't know of any business out there that can't claim overhead costs, those of employees and marketing, and yet cannabis businesses are expected to pay on everything. And so they're getting dinged on both ends.
And so many states are legalizing cannabis now for personal use. I believe it's about 20 states and Washington, D.C. How is that impacting the overall federal laws that are in place when it comes to cannabis? And are those still getting in the way? Are you still seeing challenges? What challenges are you facing?
Well, the feds absolutely cannot get out of their own way. And Oaksterdam was raided in 2012 by Obama and back in the 90s by Clinton. And so folks might be surprised at where the problems really lie. And it's absolutely at the top. President Biden has been the chief prohibitionist in charge of the Office of National Drug Control Policy and the DEA for years. He has been key in ensuring that the drug war continues, and we may be moving into a softer, gentler prohibition, but we still have people in prison, and it still depends on the color of your skin. And so the problems really lie in Congress first and foremost. It is their job to fix this, but without a president pushing the offices that are within their control, including the office of our vice president, Kamala Harris, who has a big say in these drug policies as well. They have not gone far enough. And that's why we as citizens need to continue to lead and call on our elected officials to do something federally and statewide.
Dale, thank you so much for your time with Oaksterdam University. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.